so many scholars sitting here, and we want to leverage.
Initial classes would be online, but since till we have this thing, because we want to make sure that those who have enrolled would remain focused, because otherwise it would be a great start and feeble or unceremonious ending. We don't want that. At least we want to test the resolve of the participants, and once we are sure about it, then we can go ahead about it.
Thank you. Our Omaha is blessed.
So yeah, Dharma Poshanam is obviously non-profit. There is nothing goes to any administrator of Dharma Poshanam. It is purely service in cultivation of our Dharma Poshanam, and we are going to ask a formal agreement with our temple,
Okay.
saying that allow us to use the classrooms
Yes.
for Vedic dharmic purposes. So it kind of, there's a convergence of mission on both sides. Just like similar to, let's say, our UPFNA and our temple is convergence of mission of yoga and dharma. Similarly, we see a convergence of mission here. So we are here to enhance our temple's outreach, and while taking this opportunity of learning from the masters, that will benefit all of us. And then it becomes a starting point.
If some scholars are visiting, it's, if it is in our knowledge, we would also try to organize one or two programs
Right.
somewhere here. And you have got a beautiful hall, Santa Sudan, and its primary purpose is to organize such
Against
things.
such events.
That is the reason we established.
And
this
yeah,
center.
you got the Temple Society Hall, which is also very good. So these things we will make. There are wonderful opportunities of infrastructure. So we can make use of these things.
This
By
really, it will be very helpful for the
Yeah.
entire community actually.
Which is not a commercial understanding, it is a dharmic understanding. That is what makes it different from anything else that our temple does. So that's the idea.
Thank you.
Vamshi garu, this year మీరు మళ్ళీ you will be back this year to US anytime,
We don't know.
because the temple Sundar garu was asking for some good yajna at our temple in his presidency.
No, when we organize it, Vamshi Garu will be here.
Will be here.
So actually, we have long running programs, and as you all know that I am connected with too many organizations, too many
Yeah.
events. So I hope that, say, visa is not an issue.
Okay.
We can just buy a ticket.
The
to
Omaha
the next
temple
day.
is at a very high level of affection for Vamshi
Affection for
Garu.
Vamshi garu.
So when we organize
And
it,
all of us.
we all invite him, he will be
Say,
here.
but here again, I want you to have a wider perspective.
Yeah.
Don't just limit for a 2 or 3 hour program actually. See how good events and larger events are happening, that especially for the Swamiji always says, our Gurujis and our Sarishes always say that whenever you have recitations which are happening over the time period, it would be good for the society. That is very much required. It's not just that only one region, one country is actually benefiting from this thing. So if we have these things, one Veda Parayana every year, we can plan for that. We have a beautiful temple and everything there. One Veda Parayana, we will have 1 or 2 scholars to do the 10 days Sampurna Veda Parayana, and one Veda
Swasti,
Hona.
Veda,
Yes, one
Swasti.
this thing.
Ghana
To
Swasti.
1 or 2 scholars, they can come here. They can do the entire Veda Parayana. So the temple would provide the basic infrastructure. So we can just raise little these things. So we can have, for example, today we had a Havan.
Right.
I will just give you a framework following which you can do this thing. See, if a Vedaparan takes 10 days, 8 hours a day, I don't mean to say that you should stop your work and everyone should attend.
That is
We just apportion that into 20 sessions. You'll have 20 people who are given a specific puja altar, and they can bring their own devatarchana. They will sit there and they will do the abhisheka for 2 or 3 hours. That's it. Everyone can afford to take 2 or 3 hours off from their work. So every year, can't you afford to take 3-4 hours for a puja? Whichever date. So we should think in such a way. And if you have at least 6 to 7 states which are underrepresented, and where there is our community members, we can just pass on
Pull
the
them,
information.
yeah.
Once you have the repertoire of these things, okay, these are the events. Then Perhaps every year we will be able to do it 2 or 3 events also, sir, and in future. That's how we should think. The Homa is also very similar. So one thing which we lack is Samhita. Many states and where we have visited, we are seeing the same problem.
Same problem.
See, actually, many of you are well connected. You can just seek some permissions so that the Yajna Vrikshas are very simple, and we have the technical names for all of them, and many of them are tropical, and there are tropical regions. So you can just bring the saplings at some point. Once they understand that this is harmless, there will be no qualms about it. Similarly, Darbha was introduced to Trinidad. Trinidad is not even your Lincoln County or the Omaha County, less than the county size. So they have spoken, and Darbha was introduced. Now we need not import it from anywhere. Darbha is locally grown. So Darbha and Samhita are the primary constituents for these things, and we can make use of they are easily reproduced without much effort. You can collect the Samhita and Darbhas.
Yeah, in our temple also we are using wood from Home Depot and all that.
No, everywhere. See,
Instead
it
of
is
that,
it is chemically
traditional,
treated.
Samhita is
It is
different.
chemically treated,
Right.
and the fumes are not good for your health as well. So, the Homa also had an ancillary beneficial effect
Yeah.
of the combustion effects. We can also make a study because there are many of you are very well educated and very well connected. You can just think about these aspects also. How this combustion could help in a controlled atmosphere along with the mantras or just pure combustion, and how this could help the community. We can also think on these aspects. And there are agencies which would also actually fund these initiatives if we present them in a proper format. We have seen such reports because they are doing it. Even since National Science Foundation has been giving to a few kind of concepts like this. May not be exactly this, but something like this. So we can also think on these lines. And wherever we have some people owning tracts of land, we can say that okay, we will try to grow few Yajna Vrikshas, Audambara, Ashwatha, Vata, banyan trees, etc. And we can take the Samhita till they develop that land. Those things can be really thought of. And if things go well, we got lots of community members, we will have a neighborhood of our own. We should think, because see, Houston, Swamiji has been encouraging people everywhere. That would be very useful for your later years. If you are 10 or 15 people, why don't you join hands together and have a parcel of land? In 5 to 10 years, you should be able to develop something which would suit your requirements. When all the children are gone outside, then you will be remaining at some point. You are born somewhere else. You are here for a purpose. That purpose is almost done, but you are not in a position to come back. Then you are left here. So you should always plan for your later stage. So this should be the correct time you should think about all these things. So otherwise, I don't see any purpose of Swamiji coming here at 82 years and encouraging people, come do this, do this. What does he need? Does he need land or buildings? No. Just for our sake only. He is encouraging people, why don't you do something like this? Dallas, we have a community. In Washington, we have something, and Houston, they are growing, and New Jersey, they are this thing. Just people would join. So they will take a name of the Guru and they will do it themselves. Legally, administratively, we are nowhere connected. We only give them good advice and some good wishes. And of course, the divine blessings we see for others. So this is how we should think little larger.
We have around 400 plus retreats in Texas. That's what I heard. Last 2 weeks back, we had Sasana Lingachana in Omaha. There, the priest, he came and he was telling he is having 400 plus retreats, and he is doing the similar one with the same.
Originally, everything that we think has originated somewhere in southern India or Mumbai or something. We are always, usually we are very strong where we are in a minority. That's how things work. When in Mumbai, we did not have people to follow those things. So actually in Mumbai, Kolkata, and I'm very happy to say that Tamilians are very resilient about these aspects, about the aspects of culture. And we met a couple of persons just before I left Dallas. I thought there are some Purohitas and Archikas. Then they said, no, we are actually officers of Federal Reserve. They were with the Shikha and Panchakacham, etc. everything. They said, we go to office like this only. They respect the culture diversity and they don't say anything. We just put on a shirt and we just go there. That's how things are working. So we are not disadvantaged anymore. If we feel so, that is because of our lack of planning and lack of foresight.
Or confidence. Lack of confidence, maybe.
Of course, see, once you have the blessings of the Guru, saying that okay, you go ahead, that inspiration would actually make things happen. Of course, you are only doing it.
Our Srikanth left.
No, see, they have not left without a purpose. See, why did you people came all the way here? You didn't see heaven here.
Right.
There were good employment opportunities and income opportunities.
That is
Once
right.
you have them here, everyone would come back. Now you think. So, all Ano Bhadraha Kratavoganta Vishwataha. If our intentions are clear and pure, God will find this thing. We never anticipated to have this meeting here now. Did we? No. We just wanted Kushmanda Homa to happen. Yesterday I said, whoever was associated with our Homa yesterday, just to see if they are available. So luckily we all are here.
Here.
Instead of me alone or he alone or he alone or he alone doing something, if we are 8 to 10 people, okay, we'll have a confidence. We can just say, write our names and we'll give our addresses and we need such scholars or such persons visiting our, to help our community develop its activities. So such letters and petitions would actually help the departments to process quickly. We'll be able to do many more things.
See, one more what from my observation with other kids. So they need questions as to why, they need answers for their questions, like why we have to dress up.
That's what I said.
Why?
Yeah,
That's what I mentioned in the beginning itself.
Yeah, you
We
are-
need a blending of this thing. First, follow the elders' advice, and it should be backed up by the reasoning. And fortunately or unfortunately, those people who had questions are not amidst us, even in this discussion.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, how to make them part of these discussions is very important.
So because when the middle school, until the primary school, they were fine. From the middle school onwards, they just are intimidated and, you know.
Now, see, everyone is aware of the background. We are talking about, we need not discuss about the problem at all. We need to discuss and think about the solution only. Because if I don't know or he does not know, every household has the same problem or same issues. So we all had our share of woes. And those who are actually coming again, it's only just by God's grace or the Guru's overbearing presence. So I will just tell you, if I had 28 kids of the same age, whom you are talking about, if everyone is wearing a dhoti and they are sitting for puja for 3 hours without asking. At home, if Amma says, please sit here for 10 minutes, why should I say, I will go away. This would be the natural response, but without asking, first day they will just drape a pant and they will put a dhoti. Second day, it would be sharps over that one dhoti. The third day, they will remove everything and they will just put like this. And for the fourth day, they will do the upavitam. So this is the experience. Once they are exposed to the right atmosphere, then we will see all these things. See, we can't blame them also. What are we exposing to? Some baseball games and some TV shows or some other American basketball, etc. These are the only thing we are exposing. We say that if they don't go to ice hockey, skating or this thing, they will get a grade lesser or 2 marks less. So this is what we are exposing, and we are actually visualizing such a scenario that is the ultimate in life. And we never explain what is its contribution in our own life and development. That's our problem. As I said, the planning is problem on the parental part, not on the kids' part. If you don't do it at the right time, if you don't board the plane in right time, you would be left back and the plane will go away. This is what would happen. So actually it's a parenting effort only. And at least who are in the 40s, we should always plan for the 60s. Because time will not stop for us. And we would very soon reach there. And we all would live to see that. We can avert some of these issues if we act now diligently.